The first thing you notice, there is some magic going on here. Building by building and house by house, it has kind of worked at its heart going out. We call it the center of the universe. It's just beautiful. Look at all these children. They can feel what it's like to be a star. This is what a neighborhood should be doing. We're going to take away the hopelessness.
The first thing you notice in the summer are the flowers. The little park right on Visser, it blooms. It's something about being a homeowner and you're in a nice neighborhood, and that does something to your head. It swells it.
I guess I have old clothes now.
If it wasn't for Seed, I couldn't do it. They gave me a way to have what I want, a home, and the area counts for so much.
There were 70 houses on 5 short, 1-block streets. The city was going to knock a couple of them down. We convinced them to give them to us to rehab, and that was the seed, if you will, of the housing program.
You have a lot of churches, surrounding churches here make this area sort of strong. Plus, you have an organization like Seed, okay? They have really stuck to it and got the money and to come into the area and really, what you might say, responsible for the area looking like it is. They're responsible for the beautification of the area, for putting the lights in here, for the trees are here, and they have did a heck of a good job.
Well, it took a while to evolve into a place that was really capable of doing some economic development, and yet when that economic development happened, it was very real. Certainly there's some magic going on here.
Building by building and house by house, you know, it's just a thrill to see these entities come back to the way they used to look like. And the population in the Wealthy Street area is so diverse.
Okay, let's try a little counterclockwise.
And to watch the different peoples come together, to me, has just been, you know, an exciting challenge and a minor miracle. I don't think it's happening anywhere else in the city.
Look at the buildings, for starters. Those that had been boarded up, and there are many yet to go, are just being exposed, and they're gorgeous. They're just beautiful pieces of architecture. And as soon as they're opened up, businesses want to be in them. We've had C&C Collectionist moved in, James Price's barbershop downstairs, Lady Love, opened its facade, and you could see what's going on inside and see the relationship between the inside and the outside.
So I'm here because we consciously and deliberately chose to be here. You know, I've said that I want to be a part of the Wealthy Street revitalization, and I would work on committees, but to actually invest. So it's not only a dream come true in owning a store, but it's my contribution to rebuilding the community.
All you really have to do is drive through the neighborhood and you feel the energy. You see this house fixed up, and this business is going again, and this building that was empty is not empty anymore, and it's kind of worked at its heart in going out.
We call it the center of the universe. Basic goods and services that everyone needs to live here are here. So we don't have to spend our money on 28th Street and go to Michigan Avenue. The idea is to spend it right here in your neighborhood and feed your own neighborhood.
You know, who would have thought antique stores, you know, on Wealthy?
Who would have thought that housing would have been such a successful project? And when we are talking about before and after, the pictures tell the story. But many, many volunteers have been involved in carrying out trash and shoveling out all kinds of debris.
At first, I didn't think anything could be done to that house. I went in there and saw that the way they fixed it and changed up the bedrooms, it's just breathtaking to me, that is. I just fell in love with it. It's just beautiful.
Look at all these children. The children are all over the place in this neighborhood. That is the one thing I like about it. The other thing I like about it is that there's an upbeat spirit right now in this community where people are starting to take this neighborhood back and there's a vision about what it could be like. A good part of being in Grand Rapids is because there are people in Grand Rapids who will help you do that. When there is a good cause, you can get to the people who can help you do it.
Whenever SEED starts out to do something, whether it's to look at a housing development project, when we first began looking at that several years ago, we went door to door and talked to every person living in the neighborhood to see how they felt about it, what did they want in their neighborhood. When we want to do things on the street, we meet with Wealthy Street Business Alliance and say, what are your goals, what are your needs, how do we work together to do this?
8 or 10 years ago, Carol Moore thought that they were going to tear the Wealthy Street Theater down, and she had this, what I perceived to be a real crazy idea, that we were going to save the theater.
I remember standing in the total darkness of that theater, listening to the rain come through and down the walls. You know, I could feel the essence of this theater, but I knew that it was, this was a magical place.
We have purchased that building and the space immediately to the west of that to restore into the Wealthy Theater, which will be a multicultural, multi-arts center. We will have live performances on the stage, and there will also be classes and workshops for children, after-school activities, homework support, and hopefully some of the arts groups in the community will even headquarter out of the theater, and also have a real stage, a real performance space available to the local schools, our neighborhood schools, so the children learning to sing and dance and do other arts activities in schools will have a real performance space where they and their families can feel what it's like to be a star.
This is what a neighborhood should be doing. And now much of it is done.
You don't renovate just buildings in a neighborhood. You have to renovate the whole neighborhood. You have to renovate the spirit. You have to rejuvenate the spirit of the neighborhood. And I think that the Wealthy Theater is going to be just one of those symbols of rejuvenation that all of us are longing to see.
I think it's catching when other people see the energy. You can be hopeless about things or you can do something. And I think the fact that we're showing that you can do something is going to take away the hopelessness.